Fitting with the theme of our episode, we're focusing in on Canada. A big country that weaves many different individual local cultures into a broad national story, Canada has a record in pop music of exporting celebrities you might not even know are Canadian. Avril Lavigne, Shawn Mendes, Justin Bieber, Alanis Morissette, The Weeknd, and Drake are just a few.
When it comes to Eurovision, several acts have come to the contest doing what Canadians in pop music have done so often, subsuming their national identity to fit into a cultural context that they were not born into. So today we're going to explore the history of Canadians at Eurovision with a game of Eurovision tops and bottoms that we're calling the Not Like Us edition.
To help us, we have a very special guest from the land of maple syrup and healthcare, Halifax native and the Persian princess of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 12, Jackie Cox. Jackie, welcome.
Hi.
Thank you so much for being here.
It's very prescient. I literally just on my way here was reading an article about our good dear leader here in America restating his desire for Canada to be the 51st state.
Yeah, I was like, soon all these artists I mentioned might just be American.
Right, well,
and he literally, I guess in his last meeting with Trudeau, said that he believes the border was drawn like poorly. All of this has actually like lifted up Canadian nationalism, because there was a while people were kind of over the maple leaf, because just like I think in America we've kind of looked at some of our past experiences as a country and been like, do we really want to celebrate the Stars and Stripes? I think people are having the same feelings around the maple leaf, but now they're like, we'll see based on the examples you show me whether Canadians really are up to snuff.
This is how you know we brought in a professional. She does her own transitions, which I love. So the way this is going to work is we are going to play you the Canadian acts who have graced the Eurovision stage over the years. Some have placed at the top of the contest, while others have found themselves towards the bottom. So it's up to you to identify which is which. And hopefully over the course of this game, we can get a sense of the unique challenges faced by artists representing nations that aren't their own.
But before we get started, what do you know about Eurovision going into this?
I was on a cruise where I worked. I had my show the same night as Nemo. Who was on just won Eurovision last year, so I did not get to meet them or see their set because I had a show at the exact same time.
Wait, that's like probably a bigger Eurovision connection than we've ever had with one of our non-European guests.
There's like a giant aqua theater in the back. That's where Nemo had their big show. And my show is in a much smaller venue.
I believe the word is intimate.
Intimate, cabaret.
Yeah.
This is inside drama.
Oh my God. You heard it here first.
They hadn't downloaded all of the video files they needed for their reprojections.
And internet is not great on
the
the
internet was so bad. They were trying to like download them over like the worst Wi-Fi in the middle of the Caribbean.
Is that because you got the better tech guy?
No, because I downloaded all my tracks to my computer before I left. Let me clarify. I had no tech person. So they plugged in my computer to the sound system and it was just on stage with me and I just ran my own music. So all the tech people are trying to download Nemo's videos.
They're all backstage.
Anyway.
Should we get to the game?
Let's move to the game. First up, we have Luxembourg in 1986 with L'amour de ma vie.
The backup singers are terrifying. The backup singers keep like crossing the microphone over their hearts like it's like
they're going to war.
Something slightly culty.
They like sing something and then they go.
What are your impressions, first of all?
My impression was that wonderful person has very little stage presence. I don't know if that was the love of her life, which is what l'amour de ma vie means. I don't know if she was singing to the love of her life or if she was singing about like the toast she had.
Well, actually, this will be a little bit relevant. The lyric at the end of the chorus is, "But I need to confess, I told you a lie. I said that you were the love of my life." So
maybe you just really maybe you
yeah.
picked up on the message really clearly.
Yeah.
That is Charisse Lawrence. If that name rings strong bells for you.
No.
I hear she's huge in Canada. No.
I would not give this high marks, unfortunately.
She was a top.
She was cute.
Yeah.
She's cute. She has a cute, pretty face. And the hair is herring.
So she finished in third place.
Wow. Do you just have the one song?
Yes.
And then you keep doing it?
Yes. So up until the late 2000s, Eurovision was one night and one night only.
Everyone just does their song once, and then it's
Exactly.
Yeah. It was 32 bar cuts. It was
Yeah.
period.
Now you're looking at one night of 26 songs that the majority of the audience are hearing for the first time in a row. There's no like confessionals. There's no sort of
No interview package.
There's no,
No
interview
interview
package.
package.
That's probably why I don't think it would work for an American audience, though. Like when you went to
Right.
Olympics in America, it's like they spend months before the Olympics filming all of these packages with these athletes and their families so that they can be like, and this was our girl who won gold.
Growing up watching the Olympics in Norway, I was like, you interview them afterwards because they got a gold medal. Because there's no time. We have so many Olympic things to get through. There's a lot of different ways to ski in the Olympics. She grew up in Manitoba.
Oh, wow.
Manitoba, in a different way, had a bit of a French Catholic, English Protestant conflict as well. The French Catholic minority had their funding taken away from their schools in 1890. And I think they're still upset about that.
Yeah.
Well, good thing she came back in the 1980s.
Yeah. To heal the wound.
She did sort of bring the people together because while her Eurovision song was in French, her relatively big radio single was in English.
She did host the Miss Teen Canada pageants in 1982 and 1983, which obviously you
Won.
You watched. You won. Yeah.
Yes.
We are moving to 1988, and this is in Switzerland, the site of this year's Eurovision. The song is called Ne partez pas sans moi.
It's our girl. What is she wearing? Period, key change. I mean, how much more stage presence?
And I love when she really leans into her little click finger.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What do we think about Celine being a top or a bottom?
Number one.
You're absolutely right. She won the contest.
Period. I did not know Celine Dion won Eurovision.
And this is the moment we reveal that actually the theme of this episode isn't Canada, it's Celine Dion.
Whoa, twist.
Yeah.
Twist. Exactly. Before Eurovision, Celine Dion had never released any music in English.
Whoa.
And the following year, when she came back to Eurovision as the reigning queen, she debuted her first song in English. So Eurovision is literally what introduced Celine Dion to an English-speaking audience.
That's crazy.
Celine Dion, despite the fact that she's like always pretty much for her entire career been a global pop megastar, has never quite been cool.
She's never been that cool girl.
And there is like this sort of angle on it where it's like no matter what environment she's in, she kind of presents as another.
She literally went to like learning English boot camp after she won Eurovision for Switzerland.
Yeah.
This is what I always say. If I ever get pulled over for speeding in the US, I'm just going to be like, I think I drove this amount of kilometers per hour. And they're like, it's miles. And I'd be like, wait, what are miles?
Oh my God.
I'm so sorry. Can I like bake you a loaf of bread or something to apologize?
Many
And-
different hearings.
And then they'll just be like,
Many different
they'll
hearings.
just be like,
But that kind of cultural code switching that you just
Yeah.
demonstrated has been what has made Celine Dion such an international star. I do think there's something very Canadian about it, where it's just like blending into whatever situation you're in.
now Canada's learning that you blend too hard and then you get like Trump trying to take you over.
I was listening to an interview, and this Canadian person was like, yeah, if America tries to take us by force, we'll lose, but we'll put up a good fight. One of those Canadian things I've ever heard.
So 5 years later, Switzerland thought, this went so well. So we're going to grab another Canadian. And then they sent this song, Moi tout simplement.
Which I think just means me simply.
Yes.
Yeah.
The stage is really giving. Like, is she on a spaceship? I like the song. I hated the outfit. Looked like she was leaving her job at the makeup counter.
Well, but also
And decided
maybe she
to come
was.
sing a song.
yeah, she was
Like,
running behind.
The previous two outfits, at least, I would
Well,
have
I was going to
liked a
say,
look.
like, after that Celine
That's a
outfit-
look.
Yeah.
I also kind of liked her kind of like, I'm singing.
Because she's, simply herself.
That's simply me.
Yeah.
Simply me. Fine. Yeah. this is in between the two performances I think that we've seen already. Who's this person?
So this one is Annie
Cotton.
In which country was she
So
representing?
she was representing Switzerland again.
Again. So
You know,
she's
like, it
like
went so
the
well with
she's like the
Celine.
down market Celine.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Celine on Temu.
She's kind of like, I'm her cousin.
Yeah.
Her name is like, I'm Sarah
Celine,
Dion.
Yeah, or like
Yeah.
Celine Dijon or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Oh my God.
There is a Canadian queen who lives in Edmonton, Alberta, which
my
is
God,
where I
that's-
performed. Great place. But I was going to say is there's a drag queen there who named herself Celine Dijon.
Wait, really?
And
I'm
I was like,
obsessed.
oh my God, are you a big Celine Dion fan? And she's like, not really.
No.
Wait, actually, that makes it better.
Yeah, she's just like, I just like the name. I was like, period. Okay. So how did our girl do? I did like the vocal and I felt like the song. I just hated everything about her presentation. I think she's actually a beautiful woman. Maybe she did well.
You're right. Tom,
Yeah.
she placed third.
Yeah. Okay.
So far, the Canadian track record.
I know.
Third, first, third. She does have something in common with you that she's been on a soap
Oh, period.
because she was on the French Canadian longtime daily soap Virginie.
I can't say that I've watched it. I had a multi-year little stint on Days of Our Lives, which I love doing daytime. It's
Oh, yeah.
absolute bonkers. They shoot
Yeah.
60 pages a day. So you literally get one take.
That's crazy.
I play a fictional version of myself on Days of Our Lives. This like version of myself that's like stolen an emerald, married someone, showed up at his wedding to someone else to break it up, and then tried to help his new boyfriend after that escape over the border to Canada by giving him like a wig and a dress like it was the birdcage.
Wait, which of those are from your actual biography?
That I'm from Canada. The rest are nothing is.
I do like the idea of enlisting the help of a drag queen to help you sneak over the border because
Yes.
I don't think of drag outfits as like blend in outfits.
Right. The idea is like if the cops pull us over, we're like both in drag, and it's like, sorry, officer. That's my version of the Norwegian
Also,
thing.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
so
yeah,
sorry.
yeah,
I'm a drag queen.
I couldn't see the speed limit
Yeah,
over my
lashes.
eyelashes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also, I'm like, make sure the Trump administration has not seen that episode.
Oh,
Period. I mean, literally trying to abscond with a criminal like, over the border
We don't
in
need-
drag.
This is everything they hate.
Yeah,
in
they're-
one.
I think they're just gonna like cut it into like a campaign ad next
my God.
election. It's
Oh
like
my gosh.
they're coming over the border.
Oh my God. Like what happened to Dylan Mulvaney. The way they were like shooting Bud Lights, they will just be putting like wigs on a thing and just shooting the wigs.
And some of my wigs you probably should shoot. There's some bad ones.
But as fun as Switzerland was,
Yes.
I think it's time we move to France. This is 2001.
Je n'ai que mon ami. The French
Je n'ai
boys
que
love me.
mon
I don't know if this is TMI. Well, I don't care. I'm recently single, and Nikki Doll, the queen of France, texted me. She's like, "What are you doing? You're just sitting in New York? Come to Paris." 2 weeks after my partner left me, I went to Paris for like a weekend.
Wait,
just
that's the
to
most brilliant.
be drunk and kiss French boys, and I
That
did.
sounds amazing.
Wine, croissants, and big baguettes, baby.
Oh, juste mon âme, et ma voix, et mon corps qui s'enflamme.
Okay,
Anyway.
let's talk about this.
Yeah.
First of all, the set is much more what I would expect.
Right?
It's giving like American Idol's kind of set.
Because here's what's happened. 2 years
Post-orchestra.
before, we got rid of the orchestra.
Oh, so there's more room. It's a bilingual song. She's giving like she learned how to perform from Celine, which I love.
Uh-huh.
The Kate Gosselin in red hair, I'm living for.
Right?
Just really gave us a look. Presentation, best we've seen so far.
100%.
The vocal was getting a little muddy. I feel like she didn't do that well.
Another
She's-
top for Canada.
Wow.
Number 4.
Wow.
So this is
Yeah.
Natasha St. Pierre. It is very interesting how you noted that there is like a switch in the song. Like most of the song is actually in French.
And then she switches.
And then the final chorus is in English. And that's actually because she hadn't decided whether she was going to sing the song in French or English until like the last minute. She was the first French contestant to sing English lyrics.
Yeah.
The French aren't
because
big fans of that.
I kind of like to think that they were like, you better not sing in English. And so she's
Yeah.
like singing the whole song in French. And then like final chorus, she's like, all right, let's do
Well-
it. I kind of think of her as the ultimate Canadian act, both because of the bilingual performance, but like her background, she has heritage that's partially Indigenous Canadian.
Oh, period.
But also on the other side of her family, they were Acadian, who were like a different set of like French settlers. They came to Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, and Prince Edward Island. I didn't know about this at all. Like I had thought all French Canadian was Quebecois. And apparently Acadians have like a different language that like they can understand Quebecois because like it's, you know, more dominant, but there are a lot of like French Canadians in Quebec who like do not understand it when an Acadian.
It's like
tries to
Creole French.
So now it's 2016, and the song is The Last of Our Kind.
Soldier, take off your armor, show me your heart. This is home.
It's giving Taylor Swift. Is she on fire? It looks like she's on fire.
I mean, I feel like that is the one thing that hasn't yet been tried at Eurovision, is lighting the performer on fire.
The number started out so strong, and it's just really... Why does she just keep hinging? Looks like she's like about to do a deadlift. That was definitely the worst vocal we've heard. She sounded great on the verse.
Yeah.
And then as she walked forward, she was on fire. Like, why was there smoke coming out of her back?
Does make it harder to sing.
Sure. As she got in the full light, you noticed like her wig was such an odd color, or hair, her unit. And then what really lost me was the choreo, which was just her doing this on the beat.
Yeah.
Is this a thing people do?
I don't know, but I have yet to find my dance moves at a club, so this might be my thing from now.
What would we go for as a guess?
This is the bottom for me.
And you're 100% right. Now, naturally, I want to go Rikka, but
Right.
not Norwegian.
It's a very good Canadian accent you just did.
From Vancouver, and I think this happened after Eurovision, came out as non-binary. But yeah, they didn't even make it to Eurovision final. Not only didn't make it, was the last place in their semifinal.
Oh.
But, you know, the Canadians had a good track record. So they were like, we're not going to let them ruin it.
This is how you know that, like, Magnus is a teacher. Because it was like, well, you know, they didn't get it that time. But... So Greece. The song is called Better Love.
Let's do it.
Nothing more to say to back it up when I'm unafraid of busting up. Go on, hold on for dear life.
The presentation of this song is a lot.
Yeah, Eurovision doesn't get less. With
The fencing dancers. Again, backup singers, a little scary. And now they're doing Snow Angels. Period. She's like the demon child of like Jessie J and Dua Lipa. I love her outfit, to be honest. Okay, this is what I think about this song.
Yeah.
I actually like the song. And she seems like someone who's probably really great in a recording studio. She has a really interesting voice. It's like, you know, when you see Dua Lipa live and you're like, good for her. She actually sounded pretty close to the recording.
Right.
She's not a singer. And I would say this person probably is as well. The presentation of the performance, while a strong choice, was a little incoherent for me.
Yeah. It wasn't like one strong choice. It was like a lot of strong choices going in different
Everyone
directions.
said yes.
So it was like, yes.
In the meeting. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like this did better than our previous contestant, but I don't know. Can't imagine it winning.
A very good analysis.
Yeah.
Made it past the semifinals, but a bottom. Placed 21st out of 26. Now we're going to get to the final so far time Canadian artist has competed on the Eurovision stage.
Yes.
This is France again in 2023 with Évidemment.
Mon cœur m'aima, mes yeux me rendent, plus rien ne m'appartient. Je me fais
Work.
faire du bien.
I mean, it is giving drag.
Comme
Yes.
si c'était rien. Évidemment.
Okay, the beat kicks in. Okay, great concept for a number. Very like modern Edith Piaf.
Yeah,
very
right?
what she was going with the vocals. Hey, the kind of like the rolling of all the.
She's this Canadian artist, right? And she's representing France, and she comes with like literally the most French song.
Yeah, she's like very French.
That performance was like a really big deal that year because France spent $1 million on that.
The fabric.
Yeah, the fabric
The
alone,
fabric
right?
alone.
They built a custom elevator system.
Yeah.
But how did we think Lazara did?
I like the number. I thought the presentation was great. I love the vocal choices. I thought she picked a song that worked really well with her voice.
Yes.
I think she did well.
Unfortunately, and I think this was a little bit an upset. People expected more.
Yeah.
She placed 16th out of 26, which
Okay,
is,
that's like the middle.
but according to the rules
I think
of
she
tops
was
and bottoms,
wronged.
I agree. I agree. She was wronged. She was born in Montreal to parents from Morocco, and before she got her big break as an artist, she was a hairdresser.
Period. It was
Got
giving
some of
drag.
that- Yeah, exactly. She's like, I know how to do the hair.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
sat that in that chair and she goes, "Excuse me, stack 3 more, please."
Yeah, she was giving the hair. Yeah, I liked it.
There was a big controversy
Oh, yeah.
because
Very un-Canadian.
when her points were given out, she gave the finger.
To the camera. Which, like, I agreed with
That's
her.
very French-Canadian,
That's great. Yeah, that's true.
You were like, the rest of Canada gets the finger from
From Quebec all the
French
time.
Canadian. Exactly. Yeah.
But I bet that like endeared her to some people as well.
But she has teased that she wants to sing in English.
Yes. But when people have asked her, she said people who sing in Spanish do well in the English market. So why not French? And I thought that was
Period.
like really nice.
It is interesting though, because if you go back to like the 50s and 60s, like Europe at large and also a lot of the Western world consumed so much stuff in French. 'Cause
Yeah,
it was-
French used to be the
it
language
was-
of diplomacy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, and now we don't do diplomacy anymore. So we don't do
Period.
French.
Maybe they just
Oh,
haven't
wait. Oh,
found
I'm
the
s-
right Canadian for the modern day.
Yeah, Jackie, when are you submitting to Eurovision?
I will not be submitting for Eurovision. I think people love me in many ways, but as a pop star is not one of them. I sang a little bit on Drag Race. People have a lot of opinions about my voice. And I was like, I'll be okay if I don't become a pop star.
But now, having delved into some Eurovision, what are your takeaways?
French Canadians are badass, which I already knew.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Montreal feels like a foreign country. I mean, I guess it is a foreign country, but Canada's a foreign country
I mean,
to America.
for now.
For now.
For now. Thank you so much, Jackie.
Yeah,
for
Jackie,
stopping
this was
by on the
absolutely
pod.
amazing.
Thanks for having me. So fun.
All the mysteries of the Euroverse.